Hey guys, so I wanted to do a quick general reading, and if you enjoy more of these, I can do more of these. I used to do them. I don't know why I stopped. I was going to make this a week tarot because I felt as if shrinking a reading down to a week would be more accurate and precise. Since I am doing so much, I don't have time to do like on here individual zodiac signs. I made one on my ASMR channel that was 2.5 hours long for the next 10 years for each zodiac sign. So you can go check that out if you want more specifics and detail. But even that's not that specific. It's still broad because it's such a long time and every zodiac sign has other zodiac signs in them. And, you know, readings constantly, general readings contradict because it's for the general. If you'd like your own personal reading, check out Bomboni.com. I do tarot readings. It's my most booked service ever. Had another record month. Thank you guys so much. I didn't even think I could exceed my record in February, and I exceeded that in March. So I appreciate you guys so much for that. So, well, the tarot readings must be working then. All right, so let's trust in the cards for the divine message for the next month of April. A general reading for all my poopsies watching, just really quick. I've been taking it very easy lately with the uploads. It's come sooner than I expected. I think I'm gonna go to the beach. Lately, God's been calling me to go to the beach. I haven't been in like 2 years, no joke. Like, I need some sea salt, cleanse that negative energy of the past 2 years out. I just took like an immersive salt bath last night and it was quite an incredible experience. All right, so for April, for my universe darlings, general reading for the next month, what to expect, what's going on. All right, you're gonna have to be patient in a lot of ways. You're going to connect to yourself more spiritually. Maybe you're going to be isolated or alone. I had a suspicious feeling about that. A lot of people are concerned right now about being asked to stay home and all that stuff. So I think that may continue in April. If it's already in your country, it may actually be extended. Yeah, that's a general reading. Last year, this time pretty much the whole world was asked to stay home. So it's like, I'm not really surprised. But, you're not patient enough. It's like you're resisting, like you're not really taking good care of yourself, or maybe you're not like exercising or working out, or, you know, you think like, oh, I'm just staying at home and this is an excuse to be in self-pity. You know, it's okay. Sometimes we have to go through those things in life in general. But you need to flourish. This is your time to flourish and bloom and prosper. So again, whatever message connects with you. Sorry about that. These are my dog's toys. All right. And yeah, you are falling for the temptation and the trap right now, perhaps in the month of April, of making excuses for yourself. It's like maybe isolating yourself. I'm not sure. There's quite a heaviness around the subject. It's like, I can't quite put it into words. I don't think it even has to do with this whole stay home, stay home, stay home. Gosh, this is the most uncomfortable position ever. Sorry, guys. But it's more like maybe you're getting so used to it or too used to it that like this is like a new normal for you or something. And now it's like you've forgotten about people. You've forgotten to reach out to others and connect with them in some ways. Okay? There's a lot of work you can do creatively during this time. For some of you, it's like go out the door. For some of you, it's stay in. So it's like half and half kind of. For the ones who stay in, work on your art, work on your creativity, your craft, your projects, your future ventures. Those asked to go out, like me, I'm just being called to because I've been nothing but being at home, being creative, working on myself. And now it's like a time to externalize. So I know that's the message for me. Ooh, guys, it's been really hot lately here in Florida. Let me tell you something. Ooh, the planet is heating up, okay? This is not normal for early spring. Even with air conditioning, Jesus Christ. But I do get hot when I do readings, so I know that's how the accuracy, the spirit comes through, and I get really hot, so that could also be it. But the more I think about heat, anyway, y'all, I'm getting off a tangent here. Yeah, so this is like some of you really need to, but also I don't know why I did this reading here because this is really not comfortable. Sorry, guys. I get distracted. Yeah, some of you are like really like going to be in the headspace of I want to leave this planet, or just literally, it doesn't have to mean that. It could mean like I just want to travel and venture out, like explore, like an explorer's adventurous type of spirit. And maybe some of you are restricted. See how he's restricted and you can't go, you can't venture off, you can't explore. It's killing your soul, like, you know, something like that. Could be this coffee too. And this is like telling you need to bring in that past calm and peace that you once had within you. And you're no longer having it because you have a hard time like expressing yourself emotionally now. Because there's like a restriction within your own mind. It's like maybe you couldn't express your emotions in a healthy way. You maybe had to hold back and restrict yourself, okay, emotionally speaking. And again, that kind of traveling adventurous spirit you've had before, bring it up again to the surface if it comes. If not, this is also a double meaning card. If not, just stay inside and really reflect on who you are as a soul for the whole month of April, okay? Like with the moon cycle, like I feel like there's a full moon here. So maybe when the full moon hits, that kind of makes sense, isn't it? Coming around, when is the full moon? It's almost here, isn't it? Like, wouldn't it be around beginning of April? So when that full moon hits, you really like, that's the time, and not just for one day, you know, you make it a lifestyle. That's when you really got to like reflect and analyze who you are, why you're going through this experience you're resisting. Why am I resisting? What is in me that I'm resisting? Nature doesn't resist. Nature always changes. I am of the earth. I am of the nature. Humans come from the soil, in a sense. Part soil, part spirit, as they say. We're still of the physical density of this realm. So how can we connect to that which is here and allow us to feel this emotional, spiritual healing? And then, in return, you get creative, right? Sometimes we want to stay in a room, close ourselves off and write things down and force creativity, when it's like sometimes you're being asked to step outside of that box of the four walls to get inspiration. You know, some people like venturing out and to travel and go, let's say, just look at the birds by the stream, and you get creativity there in that moment, in that space. Sometimes you get it closing yourself out. Sometimes you get it stepping out of your comfort zone. So I think it's asking us all to be pushed and to sort of guide our energies to think opposite. So it's very polar opposite here. So I'm seeing for you, if you've been home a lot, if you've been asked to just, you know, stay and stuff, if you've just been choosing to in general, maybe it's a time to like step outside of that boundary, you know, even if it's not in a literal sense. If you can't, if it's not possible for you, I understand, but it's like, what ways can you bring nature in? You know, crystals are a perfect way to bring the grounding energies of earth. And ever since I held blue apatite, which this is, it calmed me down. I no longer feel heat, you know. Blue is associated with cold, but anyway, so what can you do? Maybe bring a plant in your home environment and like meditate and reflect with the plant, you know. How can you bring the outside world in, even if you're asked to stay in, right? Like based on where you live. So, but if you're in and you're able to go out, externalize. You'd be surprised who you see, you know, who you come into contact with that may help guide you on your life's journey. But if you're asked to stay in, then it's like, or life just shows you like maybe your friends are just like too busy to hang out with you. And you're just like, oh my God, I don't know where to go. I don't know what to do. Okay, maybe life and God is trying to guide you to stay and reflect inwards. So what am I avoiding? What am I missing out? What am I not connecting with? And we forget to talk to ourselves, to connect with ourselves. What like your inner child would have done. We used to talk to ourselves all the time, our imaginary friend, which is really God. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, bring that back which you've abandoned for so long, because you'd be surprised the creativity that comes out of it. You know, I mean, children are creative, right? So we're the creative beings of this earth. So they come up with new ideas constantly, an imagination that's so wild, and we get so old and boring as we age. And it's like sometimes we need to channel that within us, right? Why do we always have to be all the same? Like, why does everyone always have to go like eat at the same restaurant, go to the same gym, like go to the same beach, like boring, you know, like how can you be individualistic in yourself, right? How can you be separate and different from others and bring that healthy sense of division within yourself through others? And then all of a sudden you attract and meet new people and friends. So it's like a really like a shifting month, April. I'm seeing a lot here, okay? So whatever resonates with you. Whatever money problem you may have had is over. If you're needing to like take care of some of you having kids maybe, is going to be over. There's some help here coming or something, or at least the beginning of a start of a mention of some form of assistance or help. That's all I'm seeing. I'm not seeing like something with 5. What could that mean? Maybe the 5th time you're getting help? That doesn't make sense. Maybe the 5th person to help you, you know? Like something with 5. Or it could be like 5,000, 50,000, 500,000, you know, in the form of a help of some form, right? If you start a GoFundMe, maybe it's a good time for some of you. Oh, I just got a stock market notification. So maybe the stock market will do you well. Oh, that's funny. Like spirit comes through even in notifications. So I trust that. So this is, again, don't fight, don't resist that change, okay? Because good things are coming. And if you're just patient, you'll get your reward. And don't do this for the reward. Do this because it's for your growth, okay? Human beings are just selfish and greedy sometimes, so be the opposite, right? Like, don't do something just for a satisfaction or a gain. You may have many options handed to you, and you may need to pick one or not at all if it doesn't bring you peace, okay? I think this will really shift your energy and your mindset, especially for the coming year ahead. May, June, July, October, November, December, January, February, March, into next April, okay? And don't be foolish with your ways too. Like, don't just revolt or rebel or act out because something maybe didn't go your way in the month of April. Don't resist, don't fight the change. I always say, like, for resistance, I always think of that like Chinese finger thing that, you know, it pulls you together the more you resist. But then when you push the fingers together, it loosens up its restriction and lets you go. So the more we fight change and our differences amongst ourselves to other people, and really when you have differences amongst others, it's a difference in you because there's parts of you that are contradictory. Heal those, sit down and talk yourself out through those. Why is person A within me saying they like this change and person B within me doesn't? Okay, how can they formulate a way to cooperate together so we can have peace? So that's the type of self-reflective analysis you need to do. Half of you, some of you. And yeah, again, it's like the more you fight the resistance, the more the resistance fights you. So, and that resistance is self-resistance all along. It doesn't matter what's going on in the world, it's how you feel about it. If you feel at peace and okay with it, there's no problem. So that's why I say, like, this whole thing happening now is actually your problem. Not in like, you know what I mean? Like in a way where like you have to choose to look at it differently through a different lens, correct? When you rewire and reprogram yourself that way, all of a sudden it's not an issue. So why are you so uncomfortable with change? Change in general could be anything. All of a sudden they stop selling my favorite ice cream. Why are you so hateful toward that? What is it that we are so, again, selfish and greedy for? I'm not saying you are, but I'm saying as an example of many, many scenarios possible on this planet. Why are you so like that when life changes all the time? Things are not going to be the same when we're 70, 80, 90 years old. They never have. Are things the same now versus 70, 80, 90 years ago? Absolutely not. Now, would they necessarily like the change? Yes or no, it depends. You know, everyone has different opinions and chooses to look at things differently. So April is going to be a very, very self-reflective time for a lot of you to realize a lot of things and kind of connect the pieces. Again, this is a very general, broad reading because this is just for a lot of you in the month of April. So a lot of deep inner work, okay? It's a lot of like, not about the physical. I just briefly saw something like you shouldn't worry about your finances. Something will be taken care of or brought up to the table here, but the rest is really just spiritual. It's kind of going to be maybe boring or a lot of like empty, maybe lonely type of feeling for a lot of you because just not much will go on really, but it's more like you're going to need to converse with yourself often, a lot of you. And the other half of you will be, when you are conversing with others, make sure you remind yourself of why is this person making me feel a particular way? Because it's not about the person. It's all up to you, how you choose to look at things, correct? Instead of missing out on your favorite ice cream that they changed the flavor of, look at that shop and say, you know what? They have 100 other flavors. You can make the choice to look at it differently. You can make the choice and realize like, it's not about you. They didn't change the flavor, for example, to suit you and your needs. Maybe it was a popular flavor for everyone, but that was their choice. So how can you choose to look at it differently? Or maybe you can go to another shop if it bothers you. But if there's no other shop near you, then what? Maybe you stop eating the ice cream. Maybe it's not so good for you to eat it every day. You know, so there's many decisions we have, and that can actually induce anxiety, and it's a huge chronic issue in this world, but don't fight the change. This is like really like pulling me in to tell you that. All right, let's see some more cards, you guys. Some final cards. I know I'm out of frame. Maybe I can do this because it's really uncomfortable to sit like that. There we go. I don't know why I didn't do that to begin with. This is usually the spread I do for my tarot readings, again, at TonyBomboni.com if you'd like. 10% off code Tony. If you're new, 20% off code Tony too. For life. If you've booked before, all you need to do is book once. You get 20% off for life. Majority of people take advantage of that. So, all right, guys, let's see what else is going on for the month of April. I do the Celtic cross spread, and then I do 3 cards, and then I do 1 card. That's usually how I do my readings. All right, you can book a 15-minute or 30-minute. Yeah, so the world, the star. Oh my gosh. Funny, I just speak about anxiety now. Oh my God. Just like the world and the stars shift and change. Polar opposites. Look, one is upright, one is in reverse. They can flip and change. Now this is upright, this is reverse. That's the wheel, like the Wheel of Fortune, I think of immediately. Like that's how the world works. You know, this world will be unrecognizable when I'm 70, if I make it that far. It's just how it is. You know, that's just an example. Imagine yourself as like 50 years from now. How boring would it be if everyone and everything were the same, right? Things have to constantly evolve and shift, and we work on ourselves through that shift, and we grow, and we evolve with the planet we are residing in. And at the end of the day, what the heck does it matter that everything's changed? We're just guests here. We're visitors. So is it really your planet? Like, you have to think about it in a form of like a spiritual evolutionary. Like, you have to put yourself in the mindset of that, not your human carnal, Uga Chunga mindset, that we all have. Because Uga Chunga would think like, oh, me, only me. And then the spiritual higher self would be like, oh, I'm just a visitor. This is meaningless to me. I mean, there's a lesson here. That's why I'm here to begin with. But I don't attach myself to this earth. There's nothing here for me, like, to attach myself to. Why would I cling on to these heavy, dense energies, But a reason we forget about our spiritual selves is because the energies here are so heavy and dense. You have to open up and awaken up to the realization that you are just this visitor here. We are, in a sense, our own aliens, right? But look at how she's exposed and bare. Like, you're going to expose yourself to the resources of the culmination of the energies and the earth, what it has to provide to you. Again, like, a lot of people are waking up and using crystals more. I've been using them for the past decade, but I've just now awakened to the reason I've been using them for so long, the reason they're so incredible and they work so well. So, make your connection. It doesn't have to be some stinking rocks. It can be like, it doesn't have to be some cards. It can be like just taking the time away from what you used to do or usually do, right? If you externalize, internalize. If you internalize, externalize. So it's the polar opposite switching. Like, the moons shift and we feel different thoughts. We experience different thoughts. We feel different feelings and patterns of our reality in this world. The same you need to do is flip the switch. If your switch is on, switch it off. If your switch is off, switch it on. If you've been working on your darkness, switch to the light. If you've been working on your light self, switch to your dark. Even if it's scary, you don't know what's there. You've been in the light so long, you're scared to turn the switch off and look in the dark, but you need to. And so for some of you who've been in the dark for so long, it can be uncomfortable to switch into the light. It's uncomfortable. It burns maybe for a few days. It's like, oh, the light. Oh. But then you get used to it and it's like, oh, it lifts you up, right? Emotionally, and you heal. And it may be an anxiety-inducing month because you're switching, you're taking yourself away from that energy. Look at this, the birds suddenly drew me in here. Like I said, the birds, I noticed that crane right over there and it's by the water. And it drew me in for a reason. That actually looks like a tarot card, that wall hanging over there. It drew me in the beginning of the reading. That's why I looked at it and I made the metaphor, the bird and the crane, and look what showed up here. The bird by the water. You see that? So there's no coincidences here. The cards do not lie. They tell a tale. Really, again, it's like for half of you, just make sure you take the time to look out. And maybe if you go for the park, per se, like pull some blades of grass, like collect a jar with you, collect some pebbles, a memory, create a memory in that jar. And another week you make another jar, like a terrarium of sorts. And you collect memories like seashells and scones from outside, maybe birds' feathers that have dropped on the floor. And you collect nature in your home and you bring it in and you remember that experience and you recall the memory of that time you were somewhere. And again, it does something when it's like journaling, but in the form of a jar. I don't know if you've ever done that, but there's something healing about it where you bring that home and you remind yourself you can always visit that place, that special place of yours, and go there. And all of a sudden, even just like looking at it and rotating it in your hand, it reminds you of that, okay? And it takes that fear away, right? So that's why it's good to have, like I said, shells at home, crystals you may have collected from the outdoors. Just things even just a stone or a pebble, a river rock, right? That can remind you like, this is where my place is at. And whenever you're feeling too stressed out, you can always go out there. So I think that's the recommendation for most of you in the month of April, if I'm honest, So, you're not asked to like always stay in, like in the literal sense, But when you need that time off from working on yourself for half of you, then it's like, yes, I can give myself permission to... It's funny, I'm seeing the sign now, the beach is my happy place. Like, I mean, it's right in front of me, that wall hanging outside. It's so funny, like, there's the palm trees, more palm trees, beach, oh my gosh, like, just things will pull you in that are like reminding you of that. For me, for sure, is I need to go back to the beach because it's been an embarrassingly long time. I've just been so busy, and I suddenly like started withdrawing, forming a form of dislike for things I used to enjoy, and I think I'm being called now for a reason. So do what you're called to do. Don't ignore the signs and messages from above. So one final outcome card. Yeah, letting go of your expectations of anything in this life, because we now know and learned in the past year alone, your plans can be canceled like that. Your career can be canceled like that. I've had this happen growing up, my family. Your home can be taken from you like that. Focus on what's eternal. You trending on the YouTube top page, top 10, top 50, can be taken like that. In the very early days of YouTube, for a few minutes, I was trending on like some cooking tab or whatever. It was actually hilarious. Like, I was like, 56? Just for literally a few minutes. And then but that faded so fast. It's like, it's just some like stupid vlog or comment. Anyway, I won't go into it, but that was like in 2008. You should focus on what's real. Fame, success, fortune, homes, cars, they're fading. What's real? What's eternal? Your peace, your love, your unity and connectivity to other people. So let go of that which is fading, which most things in this earth are. They're an illusion and they're not even real. So what will give you eternal creativeness? The colors drew me in all of a sudden, like purple, mystical, mysterious. What will give you that artist, that eternal? You're always an artist, that never taken away from you. You may not be number one anymore, but that artistry within you is forever one. Your advice, your wisdom, don't stop focusing on being like the number one or best, let's say, tarot reader, for example. If you're a tarot reader, focus on being on the best you that you can possibly be to give to others. Okay? And your number one spot can be taken from you like that. Again, focus on, there's always going to be someone else better and bigger and brighter and more abundant and beautiful in many ways. Who are you? So again, this is a very reflective, analytical time to figure yourself out and what you need to hold on to that's forever and real and eternal for you, to bring you peace on this earth. Basically, that's what it's all about. So beautiful month, April. It's funny, I'm suddenly drawn so much to the purple since those last cards. And look, I have a purple candle here, and the card is purple and green, like nature, like stepping out into the mysterious of nature and the wonders. And look at this, the artist card again is on the top. How wonderful is that, you guys? So, who is that inner artiste within you? You don't have to be the best, but can you be the best in you? Thanks for watching.